Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and this video is brought to you by our good friends over at Fanatical, who are always running great deals on various Steam PC games, and we've got quite a lot of deals to go over in this video. We've got a bundle I want to highlight, a game that's coming out very soon that they have one of the best deals that I've seen for on it, and we've got a couple of other deals, a bunch of deals under $5 as well, so we'll get to those at the end of this video. But right off the bat, I do want to highlight the bundle, the Summer Superstars Collection bundle, or you can just call it the Death Stranding and another game for $15 bundle, because that's what I think this bundle boils down to. The highlighted game, so if you don't know, Fanatical's bundles are build your own off of a, the games they offer for selection, and this one is definitely highlighted by Death Stranding Director's Cut, which, essentially getting that for $7.50 is an insane deal. But so what you have to do is you have to get two games, and they're $7.50 a pop. But there's actually some good options outside of Death Stranding. Dungeons of Hinterberg, I think that's a great option. Achilles Legends Untold, that's a decent option. And then Wildmender, that game is a good option as far as value is concerned. There's definitely some good options, but Death Stranding here is the game that's carrying the value. And Death Stranding is a game that I absolutely love. Death Stranding 2 is probably my number 2 game of the year, but Death Stranding 1, while it's not as good as the sequel, which hopefully the sequel will be out on PC maybe early next year, the first game is still really good, and definitely you want to play that before you play the sequel. I think from an exploration standpoint and an ambiance standpoint, and as far as being a relaxing game goes, Death Stranding is one of the best that you can go through. Yes, the narrative, while it's incredibly strong, it can be a bit confusing and a little bit hard to follow, but yeah, for the price you're paying here, I think it's a great pickup, and Death Stranding alone is well worth it. If you're talking about Death Stranding for $15, I mean, I think that's a pretty good deal, but, getting the other game definitely adds some value, so definitely check that out. You can get 5+ of the games in the catalog of titles for $6.60 a pop, but again, most people are probably going to go the route of Death Stranding and another game for $15. All right, moving on from that, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, they do have it for $52.38, so, great price on MGS Delta Snake Eater. I am still a little bit curious on how this game is going to perform on PC. That is definitely going to be the prevailing thought leading into the release of this game. But if you do want to check that out, you'll be able to get it at a heavy discount. And on top of that, they do have the Digital Deluxe Edition for $59.87, which does give you the 48 hours of early access, or will it be a beta testing period for, you to see how poorly the game runs, so you can help out the people that play it on the actual launch day of August 28th. But in reality, it's not like a lot of fixes can be made in a 2-day period. But, best yet, hopefully the game just runs really well. Based on what I've heard on the early build, seems like some crashes, seems like some performance issues, so just keep that in mind. Next up, we do have Street Fighter 6, which I want to give this a mention. It's 35% off for $26. Honestly, it's kind of a bummer how much this has been holding up in price. Like, I feel like this should be down to $19.99. Am I crazy here? There's so much DLC for Street Fighter 6. Like, let's get this down to $19.99. $29.99 for that price point on Steam is crazy to me, and Fanatical does beat that out here at $26. Look, I really, really like Street Fighter 6, and I'm not big into getting into these fighting games from a technical level at this point and getting really good at them. That's just not my wheelhouse. Competitive games in general, really, I'm too old and washed up for this crap. But, as far as the game itself goes, the presentation is so well done. The soundtrack is awesome. The characters are great in terms of, their design and whatnot. And the single-player component I thought was pretty well done. Like, for a fighting game single-player component, I thought it was pretty decent. Maybe not, spend $60 decent, but at $26, I think it's an okay pickup. I would like to see it sub 20, but, there goes my amazingly hot takes. I'd like to see this game cheaper, you guys. But yeah, Street Fighter 6 is a solid game, and $26 on that. Lastly, let's rapid fire some games under $5. Red Faction Guerrilla Re-Mars-tered Edition is 80% off for $3.99. Really liked Red Faction Guerrilla as an open world title. I think there's a lot of chaos. I think there's a lot of insanity to it. Maybe not to the level of insanity as some of the newer open world games, but still a very enjoyable game. You run around with a sledgehammer just destroying the hell out of crap, and I thought it was a lot of fun. Explosions galore, and given that this game came out in June of 2009, I vividly remember that era of games, and I remember picking up, like, it was like Red Faction, Infamous, Prototype, all came out around the same time, and I remember really digging Red Faction. The story is like total memes, like, it's so generic. generic that it's like, who cares? If I remember correctly, it's like a revenge story with his brother or some crap like that, but nobody cared about the story. At least I didn't care about the story. I shouldn't say nobody, but I didn't give a crap about the story, but I did give a crap about the crazy, action in this game, and I thought that was awesome. So $3.99 on that, pretty good deal there. Saints Row 2, 75% off for $2.49. This is Saints Row before, I think, personally, to me, Saints Row exploded. I know that whenever you say that, oh, Saints Row the Third established the franchise, a lot of people will be like, bro, Saints Row 1 and 2 were awesome, and a lot of people really like Saints Row 2, so take it from them. $2.49 on this. Thought I would mention that. Killer is Dead, $1.99 on this. This is Suda51. He always creates these kind of zany games. I believe he's working on Romeo is Dead, which that game looks awesome. Like, absolutely awesome. A Killer is Dead definitely has a level of jankiness to it. Like, this is one of those, janky PS3 era games. But to me, those games have a lot of charm and a lot of spirit to them. And for $1.99, I think that's a pretty good deal. Tales of Zestiria, 91% off for $4.49. To me, the worst Tales of game, but that doesn't even really say much given that Tales of is such a consistent franchise that even it being the weakest Tales of game, it's still a really, really strong game, all things considered. Not a really, really strong game, I should say, but a relatively strong game. Like, I think it's still a solid JRPG. I just remember going through this game, questioning some of the narrative decisions, which I thought were unfortunate, but overall, still a solid game, and for this price point, I would definitely pick it up. Wouldn't say, your first foray into Tales should be Tales of Zestiria, but a lot of you guys have played a lot of the games at this point, so for $4.49, I think this is a good buy. And then lastly, Weeb's out, One Piece Warriors 3 Gold Edition, $4.67. It's One Piece with a Musou style. I've heard good things about it. I know Pirate Warriors 4 is generally received to be the better game, but thought I would give a shot to Pirate Warriors 3. $4.67 on this, so you can check that out as well. One Piece Pirate Warriors 3. But that is going to do it for me. Again, the Build Your Own Summer Superstars bundle. Check that out. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, Street Fighter 6, and a lot of deals under $5. So check all of those out. Links in the description box below. If you do buy anything, I get an affiliate kickback, which is much appreciated, but that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.